Lions fans, what's going on? It's your boy King, man. And we got a topic today that's been kind of growing a little bit of steam, I guess you can say. There's one part of the fan base, like myself and others, who absolutely love and adore Dan Campbell. Whether he goes for it on fourth down or not, we are all in. We're just like the players on the team. We trust and believe in his decisions. He trusts and believes in his players. But there's been some media members, including some of our own, who've been calling Dan Campbell a bad coach, been calling him a lunatic, been saying that he's more bronze than brains. I think I'm gonna give my piece on that. Shout out to BetUS for sponsoring the video. Shout out to my family over at Lions Nation Unite. Let's talk.
Let's go!
Hey, King paying for gas.
All right, Lions fans. So, Dan Campbell brought here to change things in Detroit. Hired by Sheila, Mr. Woods, righting the ship, steady improvement over the years. But for some, that's just not good enough to overcome some of the decision making that's taken place within these last two seasons. Where do I start with this, right? Maybe we go back to the NFC Championship game, where a lot of people blame Dan Campbell for going for it. But then there's the other side, included with not only myself, but some of the media, especially here in Detroit, that said, whether he went for it or not, if you're Josh Reynolds, you just got to catch the football. You're talking about somebody and myself who play receiver. When it's a catchable football, you catch it. When your coach believes in you, you don't let him down. Not only did he drop one critical pass, he dropped two. And I fast forward that all the way until last game. When you look at last game with the Packers, we went for it 5 times. And 4 of those 5 times, we were successful. When you look at the percentages, it's not even close when it comes to being successful and unsuccessful. We are successful a lot. Why? Because when you have a team that believes in the coach's decisions, and if the coach believes in the players, the way that we seen that game, when Dan Campbell elected to kick the ball and Jared Goff walked over to the sideline and said, I really think we should go for it, you become a very dangerous team. Very dangerous. Because when you believe in each other through the coaching staff and through the players, everything else is history. When the players don't believe in what the coach is doing, you've seen an example of that with the Bears. You've seen an example of that with some of the other franchises around the league right now. It just doesn't turn out well. In our case, you go for it on fourth and less than a yard. The decision was made to run a toss run with Gibbs in that situation. I look more to Ben Johnson in that situation than I look to Dan Campbell or, whatever the fans may think. When he has faith in you, you got to go out there and provide, because the reason why Dan Campbell has faith in his team, you have damn near, if not the best, but one of the best offensive lines and backfields in the entire football league. You have some of the most dynamic guys catching the football. You have Laporta, St. Brown, J-Mo, and now Tim Patrick. If I'm a coach, I damn sure would go for it in certain situations. If I'm Dan Campbell, having the balls that he has, we're going to punch you in the mouth repeatedly. We're not the little safe team. We're not the statistically correct team. I told you, all of that has nothing to do with football. Football is a game of bronze and brains. It's a game of ball sack. And if you don't want to have that and be timid, you're going to lose games like two of the teams I just seen this past Sunday, trying to be safe. Not saying that I would go for it every single time or as many times as Dan Campbell has. What I'm saying is I understand it. I understand it. And I totally believe in the team just like he does. I believe in the talent that we have just like he does. I'm a Lions fan through and through. And if something is not right, y'all know very well on my channel, I'm going to tell you if it's not right. But the criticism that Dan Campbell is getting right now is absolutely ridiculous. One of the media members that I'm referencing, this guy has been known to be a absolute jackass when it comes to Detroit sports. He is the Wilbon of Detroit. He always has something crazy to say no matter what, whether it's for clicks or engagement or whatever it is. It's just nonsense, and it's annoying. It's asinine. It's assholic. If that's even a word, I don't care if it is or not. I just made it up. Assholic. So, Rob Parker, man. God. This guy just flat out calls Dan Campbell a bad coach. She even compared him and said, I'm not going to go that deep because I'm going to get pissed off. Disagree with the fourth downs if you want to. But to call Dan Campbell a bad coach, you, my friend, are an absolute jackass. Dan Campbell is far from a bad coach. This is the Detroit Lions we're talking about. Historically bad Detroit Lions franchise in the past. I can say in the past now simply because the job he's done with the players that Brad Holmes has provided. And now we have a 12-1 Lions team primed and ready to make their journey to the Super Bowl. Dan Campbell is a huge reason why that's even coming out of my mouth. It still doesn't even feel real to say at times. We got a game coming up this weekend that's probably a Super Bowl preview between us and the Bills. The Bills are another franchise that had the longest playoff drought in history. Look at us now. Who would have thought? You know what I'm saying? So, to say he's just a flat out bad coach, you compare him to other bad coaches, is absolutely asinine. You are one of the main people that was just in awe when Matt Patricia rode in here on his white horse. You rolled out the red carpet for him, and look where that got us. Your word means nothing. Hey, real quick, Lions fans, listen. I was on BetUS TV today, and I needed you guys, but you didn't show up. You didn't show up. I needed you guys' votes, man. So make sure you go over and subscribe to BetUS TV. I was on a feud show today. I had a debate against Zach from the Bills fan base. And you know the Bills Mafia, they show up, man. Much respect to those guys. But I needed you guys today. You didn't show up. But yeah, make sure you guys are subscribed over there. Make sure you guys go and sign up for BetUS. Remember, 150% bonuses up to your first deposit up to $2,000. Using the YouTube promo code YouTube150. That is specifically for y'all. That's in the description. I'll also have BetUS TV in the description for you guys to go over there and subscribe. Make sure you go back and watch the show. It was a pretty good one. I bombed on the trivia questions, whatever. But make sure you guys go and check it out, man. Let's get back to it. The fact that you even feel like you have an opinion about the Detroit Lions is an insult. Hell, even listening to 97.1, these guys have faith in the Lions, unwavering faith in the Lions right now. Even Mike Valenti. I can actually listen to the radio when it comes to Lions football. If you know, you know. Because 97.1, it's an acquired taste. So, to say something that asinine is just crazy. And then to look on the media, whether it's ESPN or any one of these football shows, you just have just little speckles of clowns just trying to find some way to be right because they were the main ones that was clowning Dan Campbell when he first came here and calling him an idiot. He's a clown. He's this and that and everything else. Knowing none of them would say it to his face. But then you have, on the flip side, you have people like Stephen A. and some of these other media people who absolutely were out on him right after his first interview. Which is, I mean, I don't fault them for that. You know, some of the quotes and the way it was said during that interview, it caught a lot of us off guard. I don't blame him for that. But to continue to try to drag this man before he even got a shot is what I had a problem with. And now today you're trying to drag this man after he's done an excellent job, after he has the best football team in the entire NFL right now. You're trying to drag him, especially when it's in my own backyard. I really have a problem with people that's in my own backyard, where we're from, trashing our own teams. You got Mike Valenti, who's a Giants fan. Hell, a lot of those guys on that radio. You got Seahawks fans on our radio. Why are they even there? I don't know. That's 97.1, whatever. But Rob Parker, some of these other writers, it's asinine to me. So, you know, I just have to speak on that, man. And I want to know where you guys are at with it. I really do, because it's frustrating. It's very frustrating. And, you know, I know those words don't mean anything coming from Rob Parker, but it's just like, why? It's just like, why? Why are we doing it when you already got people on the national stage, on those media shows, trying to throw shade here and there? And that's just some of them. You know, there's a lot of love that we get from some of the media shows, especially Good Morning Football. Shout out to those guys. But we don't need it here in our hometown. We don't need it from our own fans. So just as much as I listen to the radio hosts, I listen to the callers. The callers are you, the fans. Don't get down on your coach, man. Don't put that bad juju out there. Let's cheer our team on. Let's trust every decision he makes. The same iron trust that you have in Brad Holmes, let's have it for Dan Campbell. Let's have it for Ben Johnson. Let's have it for Aaron Glenn. Stop the whining. Stop the complaining. If your game has to be decided by going for it or not, or a field goal, your team doesn't deserve that win. You didn't play well enough. That is a loser's mentality, and I will fight you to the death over that. With that said, shout out to BetUS for sponsoring this video. I'll see you guys later this week.